It's difficult for smaller and new political parties to break through the cacophony of political play in an election season and to establish themselves as a reputable political force to be reckoned with. Has the novice political party Mzansi mount a successful political campaign with their latest rally at the Ruimsig Stadium on the west of Johannesburg? Dr. Levy Ndou, political analyst, joins me for this to unpack it further. Dr. Ndou, good afternoon. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. Is it a big feat to have a rally at a stadium? Does it say anything about your seriousness, your size, and your formidability?
Good evening to you. Good evening to the viewers at home. It has an impact if you are able to organize yourself as a political party, arrange big rallies, go and fill the stadiums, because it has a psychological impact on the other political parties and also on your supporters and those who are not yet decided. And also at the same time, it talks to the level of commitment on the part of your supporters that they are able to go all out in numbers, sacrifice their time to go and listen to their leader. So it also has an impact. But also at the same time, we have had a history of new political parties coming in just before the elections, and they make a huge impact. What we still have to wait and see is what therefore is going to be the results with the 2024 elections, because we have got so many new parties that are coming into the picture, including candidates who are also participating. So the space appears to be very much compact, and it will mean that all these novice parties will have to compete for that small space.
Notwithstanding the saturation of the political landscape at the moment and, of course, how much noise there is around new entrants, unprecedented amount of new political parties that are on the ballot, Mzansi seems to always want to make it clear that their intention is not the 2024 election and wanting to be successful here. They're using this as a springboard to build for 2029. How wise of a strategy is that? We've seen it work for some political parties like the EFF. They did better in 2019 than they did in 2014, and will ostensibly, if the polls are to go by, will do better this time around than they did in 2019. Is this a good springboard election, or is this a go big or go home, when it takes all type of approach that political parties should be having?
I think it will depend on the long-term vision and strategy of Mzansi. If indeed their vision is to win the 2029 elections, this could be a huge start, and which will be able to determine how they've actually performed and how therefore do they start organizing themselves as they move forward. They appear not to be a party which is only formed only for these elections and disappear. They want to build structures. They appear to be having a clear plan on what they intend doing. You also look at the kind of people that they actually attract within their ranks. They've attracted seasoned politicians, and they appear to be moving on a particular pace to say they are trying to build for now. Yes, they are contesting elections, and they're also very ambitious in terms of saying that they are also not focusing on their coalitions for now. They want to become a government. But if they fail, they still have to plan to build for the future.
What is the biggest hurdle that new political parties have to overcome in this election cycle? Not just Mzansi, all new political parties who will be on the ballot for the first time.
Well, the biggest hassles that they face is that most of them appear to be speaking the same language that is spoken by other political parties. If you look at the manifestos or listen to these leaders campaigning, you actually do not get anything new. But what is positive amongst all of them is that all the political parties in South Africa appears to be knowing what the problems are in South Africa. The only thing that we need is the best strategies on how we overcome our challenges. But secondly, because there are so many parties, citizens are spoiled for choice. Then one of the disadvantages will be that citizens will vote based on favoritism or personalities, and that is another contested terrain that political parties, and indeed new ones, have to look into and navigate and make a huge impact as well.
Yeah. Does cult of personality work in an election? Does it matter how big and how popular your presidential candidate is? Or is it truly about ideas? Or do South African voters, as you may say, have decision fatigue?
Unfortunately, based on the number of political parties that we have, and there is very little of ideology that is being spoken. And you would know that there are many political parties in South Africa where you would only know the leaders, and if they arrange rallies and such leaders do not make it, those rallies become a failure. So personalities in these elections also make a huge impact in the South African politics. But at the same time, that is influenced by the fact that beyond elections, political parties do not invest a lot of time on political education, and that is why people will follow individuals and not follow political parties or ideologies.
Dr. Levy Ndou, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it.